Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of DRM Unfiltered, the podcast that dares to go beyond the buzzwords. We're going to get ready for some bold conversations with experts, clients, and industry leaders that transform capital program delivery from real-world breakthroughs to game-changing strategies and success stories. We're going to be serving up unfiltered thoughts and fuel innovation to hopefully inspire the future of project controls. No fluff, no filters, just the voices shaping tomorrow. Today's topic of discussion is going to be delivering complex infrastructure, project controls leadership from Burns and McDonnell. We have George Lozano joining us. George, thanks a lot for joining us today. Why don't you introduce yourself? Give us a little bit of backstory on yourself.
Thank you, Dan. A pleasure to be with you today, and I appreciate taking the time to meet with you. My name is George Lozano. I'm the department manager for Burns and McDonnell Western Enterprises, managing a team of about 25 employee owners located up and down the state of California. With our regional office located in Brea, we have several staff located there, as well as some of our staff located in our La Jolla office. And then up in Northern California, we have a team in our Walnut Creek office as well. I personally have been doing project controls for the last 30 years. Primarily started off in the oil and gas industry. I'm a construction management graduate from Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Back in 1993, aging myself there quite a bit, but it's been a very fruitful career for myself. Had an opportunity to spend a lot of time in estimating, cost control, planning and scheduling, as well as earned value. Excited to be having a 9-year career so far at Burns and McDonnell, and I'm very excited to lead the team at Burns and McDonnell. So glad to be here today, Dan.
Hey, thanks for joining us. That's a lot of titles. Hopefully your business card's not a 3x5 card. So with you leading the project controls for Burns and Mac on the West Coast and California region, how do you describe your role and what makes the California market unique from a project controls perspective?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dan. I think first off, I'd like to say, I feel like my role is a lot more of a coach and a mentor to the existing team. I work alongside and have the pleasure to lead a team of around 25 employee owners. And they all combined have a total of about 400 years of experience. So that's quite a bit. And it's tough, right, to be able to tell sort of experts how to do things. So I think a lot of times I spent coaching and mentoring and just guiding them to make sure that we are committed to our clients and delivering project controls excellence across the board.
Oh, perfect. Getting into, I know there's a lot of different divisions within Burns and McDonnell. What type of projects dominate your portfolio, and how does that shape your approach to controls?
Yeah, no, that's a great question as well, Dan. That's actually one of our biggest challenges is that we are, in fact, a very diverse company. That's sort of our secret sauce. We partake in a lot of different industries, serving a lot of different clients, which, as you know, has different project controls reporting requirements. So one of the things at its core is really, the ability to control projects from both a cost and schedule perspective. So to do that, we just make sure that we understand the client's needs, read the specifications, and then from that, we determine what some of the nuances that we have to make sure that we are adding value to our clients and providing not just what they're wanting, but going above and beyond their expectations so that we can add our experience, say, for example, in the data center world versus, T&D world versus the food and beverage, because again, each of our clients sort of demand different requirements.
Yeah, when you have a lot of those different types of portfolios, how do you adapt your controls practices across those diverse sectors? And I know that could include power, water, transportation, environmental, aviation.
Yeah, that's again, one of the biggest challenges that we have is you have to standardize across the board, but you have to standardize just the right amount to be able to make sure that at its core, we're fundamentally tracking our projects from a project controls perspective, but we're also, meeting the expectations of our client needs. So each sector does require sort of different ways and means of capturing the information to be able to control projects. But I think the biggest thing is understanding their needs and then being able to continue to provide value with some of the experiences that you may have seen coming from other industries to bring that value into another industry.
So you had talked about the large group that you manage and the accumulative experience that they have. Kind of stepping on that a little bit, what does a strong project controls environment look like at Burns and McDonnell?
Yeah, that's in my opinion, strong environment is a team that we have that is communicating foremost to one another, working together towards a common goal, which is to control the projects that are ongoing and in flight, and basically working together and helping one another, right? I have a team of experts, but really their expertise is in different market niches within project controls. I got experts that are have a great working knowledge of cost control, and others of earned value, and others of planning and scheduling, and some of construction, right? So understanding their expertise and then having them to extract their abilities to also teach and coach and mentor some of the other early career professionals in the organization. So I think teaming up our senior folks with the early career professionals is a great success story for us and allows us to be able to continue to grow as a team. The early professionals in project controls have a lot to provide as well. They usually provide a lot of background with respect to technology, coming out of a lot of key universities. They have a really good understanding of the use of technology. So we leverage some of that. So I think coming together as a team and learning from one another is definitely a key success for a successful project controls department and environment.
Excellent, excellent. I know in one of our previous questions, we talked about the different industries, and to drill down on that just a little bit, Burns and McDonnell works with, a lot of public sector, private sector, utilities, municipalities. How do expectations differ across these different types of groups?
Yeah, that's another great question, Dan. The municipalities, I would say, is definitely a lot more stringent than our private clients. And it's probably because, in most municipalities, they're there to protect the taxpayers' money and making sure that everything is covered from a cost control perspective, right? But we also have clients that are on our private side that provide some more stringent project controls requirements as well. But I think the key there is to read and understand at the onset of the project, the project control requirements and the specifications, so that everyone is aligned and communicating right at the onset.
All right, we're gonna dig into your experience a little bit here. A lot of these owners nowadays are becoming more and more sophisticated as this technology evolves. What do owners expect today that they didn't say 5 or 10 years ago?
Yeah, I think today's environment with the high interest rates that we're seeing on borrowing money, our clients are really demanding high focus on, almost a hyper focus, if you will, on cost control, right? And they're pushing back quite a bit when it comes to change management and making sure that they're enforcing on their side the contract requirements, and that, the change orders that we are processing that are coming from our subcontractors or maybe coming from us ourselves on the engineering side. It is really a very close eye and focus on cost control these days, especially because, again, the cost of borrowing money is quite high these days as compared to, let's say, 5, 6 years ago. So I see that is becoming more and more a focus that we're looking at, and a trend that I see most recently.
Oh, perfect. So with you in charge and you run into certain situations at given periods of time, how do you handle a situation where the client's desired timeline doesn't match the project's reality?
Right. Dan, I think I want to kind of use a quote that I like and I enjoy and I've often referred to as honesty is the best policy, right? And I think understanding and making sure that that we're communicating to our customer the viable and accurate timeline is key, right? If they are pushing back, we need to demonstrate to them why the timeline exists and lay out for them if needed on a very simplified process using our schedule to demonstrate the restrictions and sort of the issues that we have that may not allow us to be able to complete the project in the timeline that is necessary for them. And sometimes, Dan, to be quite honest, it's out of our hands, right? It might be, tariffs might in fact impact it, right? Delivery time coming from a fabricator that is located in a national location, the productivity of the shops, et cetera, et cetera. So they may not be directly related to us, although we may own those contracts. We do everything we can that's possible to make sure that we adequately demonstrate the timeline that we will be giving to our customer and why the expectations differ. And I think it's important to have that discussion at the onset to make sure, again, that the conversations and expectations are aligned with respect to the timeline. As we say in project controls, no surprises. And I think I'm a key supporter of that. I definitely want to make sure that our customers are not getting any surprises.
Can't forget weather events, especially the way the weather's been the last, let's say month or so.
That's right. That's right.
So taking that to another level, what's a common pitfall that you see across the industry, and how does your team work to avoid that?
Yeah, no, it's another great question, Dan. I think one of the key pitfalls that comes to my mind is adequate resources to support the work that needs to be done. A lot of times it's human nature that we have a tendency to estimate we're going to do things a lot quicker and faster than we normally, are thinking that we can do. So one of the things that we do here at Burns McDonnell is we produce a pro service estimate, and a pro service estimate is a detailed line by line estimate upfront based on the project specifications of what is required to do the work, whether it's a cost controls perspective or scheduling perspective. It is a detailed line item checklist of what it is that we need to do and how long it's going to take us to do that, to come up with the number of hours that it takes to do the work. And I think adequately assessing the amount of resources it takes to do valuable project controls is really has become sort of a pitfall. I think it's also combined with the right resource, right? We want to make sure that we have the adequate resource that has the experience that's necessary to be able to control the projects that we have. Some of the work that we do are very complex, and they require a lot more closer controls when it comes to managing the projects.
All right. And, you and we're no spring chickens, we're getting up there. So you had talked about like your early controls professionals. And I kind of want to sit on that for a second. With the role of project controls, where do you see this evolving over the next 5 years, especially when you have those early controls professionals that are going to be probably moving up into maybe expert level during that time frame?
Yeah, I think, as we continue to utilize more and more AI in our work, in our everyday, project controls efforts, I think the key is to spend more time analyzing our reports and understanding what that means for the project and how to interpret the data. That, I believe, is where the value is going to be more and more. It's not going to be so much as entering the data or understanding how P6 and the software works or Excel, right? But it's more understanding what does this report telling us and what story do we want to tell so that we can help management make key decisions on the project. So I think constantly providing value to management and understanding what the reports mean and being cautious not to really report or create another report to tell us something we already know. I think taking action on the reports is important, and understanding, what the reports are telling us and interpretation. That's going to be the key, I think, as we continue to grow in project controls.
Remove the duplication of effort and get rid of the garbage in, garbage out theory, correct?
That's correct, Dan. That's
All
right.
right. All right, George. Well, you know what? This has been very interesting, learning experience for myself, getting to know some of the ins and outs at Burns and McDonnell. I really appreciate it. Is there anything you'd like to add before we close this out?
No, Dan, I just wanted to also, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. And it's an honor to be able to present this question and answer session with you. And we appreciate all the work that DR McNally has done with us, as long as a partner, as one of our subcontractors. So thank you once again, Dan, for taking the time.
Thanks, George. Really appreciate it. Well, maybe we can do this again sometime soon.
Sounds good. Have a great day.